I know it's been a while since I made video. I took a break from all my plats, so don't worry. Even though I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm gonna be less active here. So if you do want to see, I guess, more of me, I still have, and it's not connected here, so you're gonna have to search for it yourself on YouTube. But there's also Shawnee Does Music and Sean the Cool Weeaboo. I'm gonna try to definitely gonna try to get more active on Sean the Cool Weeaboo, but because that's my real passion. Even though this food stuff, the sandwich stuff, I love this too. But I'm just kind of getting bored of like the reactionary stuff, and I don't know, like maybe if y'all want me to like review, I gotta do Jimmy John's, right? But I did want to talk about before we get into the video. I did want to talk about I did have a Blimpie sandwich. I'm not gonna lie. I went out with a friend, and yeah, I had I forgot what it was called, but it had ham, salami, provolone, gabagool. Well, I didn't see the gabagool, but yeah, and then like I put like I don't like those vinegar sauces or whatever, definitely that's what I learned from that experience. But yeah, so sorry I didn't take any pictures or any of that, but yeah, so yeah, definitely, hopefully I could do Jimmy John's for y'all one day, but I'm not gonna be as active after this. I'm probably gonna do one more reaction next week, and then sometime down the road I'll get some Jimmy John's, make a video, and yeah. So with that aside, let's get into the video.
The year was 2004, 18 years
Oh yeah,
ago.
still obsessed with the weird sandwich I made drunk 18 years ago by Not Another Cooking Show. So
and I was actually still in a picky eater phase. I didn't love cold cut sandwiches. The idea of dry turkey meat between two dry pieces of bread never quite got me excited as a kid. On the other hand, a hot sandwich was right up my alley. And of course, I love chicken cutlets. They were the go-to thing for me to add to a sandwich. Now, this was around the end of football season, and I was the captain. Small but mighty, and I needed to stay sharp, so I demanded from my mom a steady supply of chicken cutlets be ready at all times. Chicken cutlets are a source of pride in any Italian household. Everyone's cutlets are a little different. I like mine sliced very thin, almost shaved off the top of the breast. I like to cut them thin rather than pound them because I find pounding them beats the meat up too much and they get torn up. I just take a fillet knife and shave very slowly and very carefully, as thin as I can. And if you use like a regular organic chicken breast, not these roided up, juiced up mega chickens that some people are accustomed to these days, you should get about 3 to 4 slices per breast, depending on how good you are at slicing them. Then all that's left is to get them breaded, and we use a classic 3-stage breading station. A bowl of seasoned all-purpose flour, a few eggs beaten really well and seasoned, and then a mix of Italian seasoned breadcrumbs and panko breadcrumbs. My mom never used the panko. It's just something I like to do for maximum crunch. I season the chicken lightly right before I add it to the flour. Make sure that it's fully coated in the flour, and then
that was another thing I tried, some Japanese fried chicken with the panko. Yeah,
once
that
it's
shit is
in the
good.
egg, you've got to get it coated in that egg completely. Make sure there's no little secret hidden pockets of dry spots, and then pull it out, let that excess egg run off, and then into the breadcrumbs. And this is the most vital stage. You could screw it up big time here if you don't adequately bread the chicken. You got to ensure that there are no wet spots or bare spots present, and to do that, I like to sprinkle the breadcrumbs on top, push it into the chicken, further flattening out the chicken breast if need be, or if they're very thin, being very delicate with it. And then you flip it and you repeat that process until the chicken is fully breaded, that breadcrumb has covered up all egg, it's nice and dry, and the cutlet will fry up nice and crispy.
Alright, so we learned how to make a chicken cutlet, a fried chicken cutlet. Take notes, guys.
Now, there was a time in recent years that my mom decided to start baking her chicken cutlets, which is honestly, in my opinion, never the move. I don't know why, but when I lived in the house, she knew I liked them fried, so that's why she made them that way. And in a large rimmed saute pan on medium-high heat, we add about a ½ inch of olive oil and allow that to come up to a frying temperature. And once it's shimmering, you can add a test cutlet. Cook for 1 minute, then flip and then baste the paler spots of the chicken with the hot oil. With metal tongs, cook for another minute, then flip and baste with the oil again. You're going to repeat this process until the chicken is perfectly golden brown and crispy. Then you're going to remove it from the hot oil and let it rest on a wire rack and season with salt, and then repeat with the rest of the chicken cutlets in batches, no more than 2 or 3 at a time. You never want to overcrowd until all the chicken cutlets are perfectly fried and are ready to be put into
was in that other? Was that like roast beef?
No, corned beef in that sandwich too. Cutlets, which these are, paper thin is the way to go. If I were to make just like sort of a really big, nice chicken parmesan, I might want these a little thicker. But when I want them layered in the sandwich, I need them.
Yeah, kind of like cold cuts.
Like these are, and these are perfect.
Oh yeah, man, those are good.
It was December 31st, New Year's Eve, senior year of high school. And of course there was a party that night nearby my house. So one of my degenerate friends was going to stay over with me that night, and we were just going to walk over together to the party. Now early on in the high school days, New Year's Eve was always fun. It was always pretty low key. It was a good New Year's Eve. If you had a place to go, you could get some booze, get wasted, and make out with a crush. That's all you could ask for. But the pressure mounted the older you got, and by senior year, half my grade were degenerates. A lot of the people I knew developed a fond appreciation for nose candy. Unfortunately to me, I didn't seem to overindulge, and thankfully that made me never want to participate. But I always hated it because it made me feel excluded. It was that night where I started to really feel that. And so of course I got wasted. Ringing in the new year was very anticlimactic, and eventually I just dragged my friend back home, obviously very hungry. And when we got home, we're greeted by a plate of chicken cutlets waiting in the fridge. A glorious sight to behold whenever you're drunk. Mom would also have some really good rolls on hand, and for some reason we always had a ton of very thinly sliced deli pepperoni. I think I like putting them in sandwiches, but it's got to be super, super thin. Yeah. And of course mozzarella, which is every kid's favorite.
Oh, so no, I think that was... Okay.
So in a drunken stupor that night, on New Year's Eve, I sliced up some mozzarella.
Nah, bro, if it ain't bleeding milk, send it back, bro.
Really nice thin ones, and I sort of mashed it up with the bread to make sure that the bread's going to reasonably contain this sandwich. Then I shingle on a hefty amount of the thinly sliced pepperoni. I sort of want a bunch of layers stacked throughout, and then I cover that all with the mozzarella. I probably used dry, low moisture mozzarella back in the day, but these days I'm gonna go with the fresh stuff. But this is definitely
if it ain't bleeding milk, send it back.
Cured fresh mozzarella. Then I pop that under the broiler in the oven. Probably used a microwave back in the day, but the oven's always the best route. And with that heat, melting the cheese underneath, it also makes that pepperoni weep its fat out, dripping down onto the chicken cutlet, immersing it in pepperoni flavor. And once that cheese is perfectly melted, I toss the roll into the toaster, bring it back to life, slice it open. And at this time I had just discovered spicy brown mustard. I had hated yellow mustard up until this point, but spicy brown mustard was a revelation to me. Spicy, acidic, flavorful. And the alcohol in me at the time said, throw it on there. So I spread it on both sides of the bread, closed it up, took a bite, and was blown away. My friend, who was in his own universe,
okay, so that's pepper.
was shocked at how good it was. And it was a sandwich I loved so much that to this day, when I know a place has the right cutlets, I'll order it, or when I have the ingredients, I'll whip it together, and I love it as much today as I did back then, and it's a combination I think you'll love. Wait, don't go yet. We have an announcement. I have another Sunday supper coming up this Sunday.
Oh, wow. That's pretty much the video, y'all. So I didn't pause it too much, but that was a good ass sandwich. You know. But yeah, like I said, you know, go check out my other 2 channels. Just this time, just under this video, I'm gonna link them. Just the 2 channels, and then, you know, they're gonna have like the TikToks and Instagram, just like I have the TikTok and Instagram for this channel. So yeah, you know, but that's gonna be it. Thank you if you made it this far for watching. You know, really good sandwich. But yeah, peace. I'm out.